Get to making with jive for sunshine. When it hits you, yes, indeed, yes, yes, you shall. When it hits you, yes, indeed, yes, yes. When it hits you, yes, indeed, yes, yes, you shall. When it hits you, yes, indeed, yes, indeed, yes, you holler, yes. One, two, three, do it.
All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success, and I want to say thanks for joining us on the live stream today. Hey, if this is your first time hanging out with us, make sure you say hi to us. Let us know where you're joining us from. Say hi to us there in the chat, whether you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Zoom. Joining us on Zoom, we've got Connie Wheeler, Eduardo, Jeff, Laura, Michael, Michael and Michael, Joshua, Noel, Tammy, Terry. Thank you guys for jumping on here and hanging out with us. And then hanging out on YouTube, let's see, I've got Robert, Katie, Lynn, Kathy, and again, Lynn jumping back and hanging out with us. Hey, Lynn, thanks for jumping on here and hanging out with us. You guys, if this is your first time hanging out with us on Site Review Tuesday, I'm going to explain how it works in just a second. If you know how things roll on Site Review Tuesday, go ahead and get a number in the chat, 1 through 115. That is going to determine the first website that we review. Now, if this is your first time hanging out with us on Site Review Tuesday, let me take a second to kind of tell you how this process works. On Site Review Tuesday, we're going to be reviewing 3 websites. We're going to do this absolutely live. Each site is going to get 15 minutes per review. The third site is going to come from one of you guys who are hanging out with us either on Zoom or on YouTube. We're going to get these site submission links out there for you guys in the chat here in just a second. And as always, we're doing this just for fun. Well, not just for fun, but to help you in your website and your photography business. Sometimes we give out points, but we're not really keeping any score. Now, you guys are going to hear me ask for numbers for the next website. How that works is when you submit your site, every site gets assigned a random number, and that system kind of recycles week after week. So you guys can't actually see the random numbers. That wouldn't really be fair because then everybody would just throw out their site's number. So when you guys throw out those numbers, it's actually helping me choose the site that we're going to review. And it looks like we had Terry on Zoom throw out 12 like right away. So we're going to pull website 12 up here in just a second. Now, hanging out with me on Site Review Tuesday, taking care of you guys in chat, helping me answer questions, helping me pronounce things, helping you guys with your questions. I've got Katie, so make sure that you show Katie some love. She does an awesome job hanging out with me week after week here on Tuesdays, taking care of you guys. And she even jumped in and helped me out last week on Zenfolio Live, and I really appreciate her hanging out with us. All right, as far as announcements go, coming up this Thursday on Zenfolio Live, we're going to be talking about the Zenfolio green screen feature, which is now mobile friendly for your clients. So if you guys are using the green screen feature, if you've been using it for a while, you're going to be excited to know that that feature now works on mobile for your clients. So used to, when your clients were going in, switching out the backgrounds on their images in order to buy prints, they could only do that on the desktop version of your site. that feature is now mobile friendly. So they can also switch the backgrounds on their phone as well. So really cool. We're going to be talking about that, as well as just giving a good overview of the green screen feature. Also, those of you guys who are hanging out on Zoom, you already know this because that is how you got to Zoom. But for those of you guys watching YouTube, you can now get live stream email reminders. So if you want to register for either Site Review Tuesday or Zenfolio Live and get email reminders every week, you can do that. The link to do that is in the description below this video. And also, if you go to that link, zenfolio.com/community/events, you can actually see all of the live trainings that we have coming up, to include the topics that we're going to be talking about on Zenfolio Live, Site Review Tuesdays, as well as the group trainings that we do as well. Last, in the way of announcements, we are encouraging you guys, as always, to share your images on social media. Let's share them. Let's make a positive impact with that beautiful photography that you guys do. Let me move the mic closer. It feels like it's away from me for some reason. Am I really quiet? Anyway, we're encouraging you guys to share those photos on social media. And this month, we're going to be encouraging you guys to share your wildlife photos and using that hashtag Zenfolio Photographers. Now, I'm going to be featuring some of those photos that you guys have been tagging. So keep tagging those photos on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to be sharing some of those photos coming up pretty soon. Not on this stream, but coming up as soon as I can get the whole template and stuff set up. All right. I think that's it for announcements. Looks like the website that was first thrown out is website 12. We're going to go grab that. And I'm going to come back and say hi to some more of you guys there in chat. But let's go ahead and grab website number 12, which looks like that is going to be marinehenryphotography.com. So I'm going to just grab this link really quick, get it thrown out to you guys in chat on Zoom, as well as out there on YouTube. Let me just get that website pulled up. All right. So here's the link. I'm throwing it out to you guys on YouTube. And let me come over here to Zoom chat and get that thrown out for you guys as well. Now, if you want to submit your site for review, I'm going to get Katie to throw that link out in the chat for you guys. There's a form that you have to submit it through. So if you want your site to be reviewed, there is a form you have to submit it through. If you're on YouTube, that form's in the link below this video. It's in the description below the video. If you're on Zoom, Katie is going to throw that out in the chat for you guys here in just a second. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get 15 minutes up on the clock, and we're just going to get this review going here. Okay, so let me get that timer going. Okay, so 15 minutes up on the clock. We're going to start out right here. Now, I'm using Safari today, you guys. That's a little weird for me because my Google Chrome has been crashing like all day long, and I didn't want to be in the middle of a site review and have it totally crash out. So bear with me while I use Safari. I might not be able to show you some of the things that I typically bring down and show you guys. So keep that in mind. Cut me a little bit of slack, please. Okay, so here we go. So we're starting off on Marine Henry Photography. And let's just kind of take a look here. So there's not a whole lot going on here on this homepage. Now, one of the things I do notice right away is if I scroll to the bottom, I am seeing this no blog post right here. And that's kind of interesting to me because we don't really have a homepage that is set up for that. And so if I click in and you can't see it real well, but if I click up here, you can see that this is actually the blog. So what happens is if I hit this backspace and I go to marinehenry.com and I hit enter, it's going to take me to the same page, and Safari kind of shows this really prettied version of the URL. So that's why I have to actually click up here. But we're noticing we're actually at the blog page right here. And you can actually see it right here in the title as well. So Marine has her homepage set up to be her blog. Now, I'm not sure why exactly she decided to do that, but just starting out with this, there's not a lot of information here, right? And actually, when we scroll down to the bottom, there's actually no blog post. Now, there's a lot of good text information, and maybe that's why, Marine, you set this up to use the blog, is because you wanted a homepage that had a little bit more text options, you can definitely do that by setting up a custom page to be your homepage. And that way you don't have this little section down here that says no blog post. So I would probably definitely recommend rethinking the strategy of using the blog page as your homepage, especially right now when there are no blog posts down here at the bottom. Now, if blogging is something you plan on doing and you just haven't got to it yet, maybe it would make sense. I don't know. What do you guys think in chat about using this blog page as your homepage? The one thing I feel like we're really lacking, though, is we're lacking the image content, right? Anytime you go to a homepage, there's opportunity to show images really nicely and really large and like a large slideshow or something like that. And we're really just lacking that here. I feel like we've got these 3 images here. We do have text information here, but there's not that wow factor that kind of hooks me in and gets me to want to learn more about your work, right? These images, not that there's anything wrong with these images, I just feel like the image content on this page is really lacking for a photography website. So something I would definitely encourage is let's rethink the homepage strategy a little bit. Let's get something on here that shows a little bit more images. Now, scrolling down here, you have your kind of welcome message information here, and it looks like you have a lot of good information as far as specializing in newborn photography, maternity, childhood milestone photos, portraits, professional headshots, lots of good information here. And then right down here, another thing that's key is your studio is located. So we know by reading that information where you're located, what type of work that you do, and that's super, super important. And I'm glad that you have it on here, and it's really good for SEO. But I would love, love, love to see more images on this homepage. And particularly, I would really like to not see no blog post at the bottom. That for me is like, it's really weird. Okay, so let's go back up here. And let's just kind of talk about this up here a little bit. So this is kind of the default for this. So as you can see, this is actual text. I can highlight it. That is not a customized logo or anything like that. So something you might want to think about is maybe getting a logo, maybe establishing some branding, a little bit of colors, some specific fonts, start building brand recognition. It's super, super important there. So something to think about. Okay, so let's keep moving on. Let's just kind of follow this path that you have laid out for us. Now, I'm curious what happens when I hit the home page. It's bringing me back to the same page. Okay, so let's go check out your portfolio. And one of the things I want to point out is the portfolio right now is just a link to a group page. And that not, this is something that I do talk about a lot. Portfolio navigation and the ease of portfolio navigation is so important, you guys, because people's attention span these days are so short, right? And when you get them on your site and you're wanting to get them to your portfolio, one of the most important things that you can seriously put some thought and consideration to is how can I set my portfolio up to get people to see the images that I want them to see and that they want to see as quickly as possible and in the most efficient manner as possible. Now, setting up this group flow where it's one click here and then they're dropped into this where they choose the category is definitely easier for us as photographers because we just have to go in and set this up kind of one time and not really worry much about things when we kind of update these portfolios and add new portfolios or things like that. However, if this portfolio was a drop down to where I could hover and then navigate to newborns, hover and navigate to portraits, it's going to make that navigation much more efficient for a client or a visitor. So somebody who doesn't know anything about your business, somebody who's interacting with you for the first time online on your website, what do you want that experience to be like for them to discover your work? And this is what you want to think about. That needs to be a very, very well thought out and efficient process. But just to show you the current setup, if we clicked on portfolio, we're now dropped here, and we're going to have to choose a category. So let's go to newborns and let's take a look. Now, again, not that this is a horrible experience until you really start navigating through the different portfolios, and then you'll kind of see why this experience might not be the best. Because as we're going through here, if I want to go choose a different portfolio, I now have to go back up to the top, go back here, and then go to the next category, right? And again, not that that is incredibly bad, but this could definitely be set up to be a drop down where that navigation is much more quick, much more efficient, getting us to where we want to go. Now, you have some absolutely beautiful photos when we get in here, right? Just some absolutely beautiful, beautiful images. I mean, look at this. That is just gorgeous. These photos are beautiful. And so, again, those of you guys who have hung out with us on Site Review Tuesdays for a while, you probably can guess the next couple of things that I'm going to talk about in here. That is the fact that this gallery is titled Newborns. All right. That gallery title, it matters to your SEO. Think of the gallery title kind of as a keyword, right? A lot of times as photographers, we name our galleries just for our own internal organization. What can you do in that gallery title to make it a little bit more search engine friendly? You could say, and I forget where you're from, so I'm just going to make up a place. Somewhere, New York, newborn photography portfolio or newborn photographer, right? Just including those few extra words in there to really tell search engines what this gallery is, because that gallery title is super, super important to your SEO. Okay. And then moving down, we do not have a gallery caption. I forgot the word, a gallery caption. And so adding a gallery caption in here, again, captions in my opinion, is one of the most underutilized features in Zenfolio. You guys will hear me talk about that a lot on Site Review Tuesday because captions are so powerful. It is the place that lets you put that extra text information, maybe in putting a call to action in there saying, hey, if you are expecting, then click here to contact me about your delivery date or something like that. Putting a call to action in that caption. It's so powerful to do that, you guys. You have to tell people what you want them to do. And then the caption, again, is just an extra place where you can drop some strategically placed keywords to tell search engines more about what this page is about. And then scrolling down at the very bottom, again, captions or categories and keywords not showing. So if you've keyworded these photos, not being utilized at all because search engines can't see it. And so they do not see it as relevant information. Therefore, it does not have any effect on your search engine rankings if you've keyworded the images. Let's go click on another portfolio really quick. So again, we're having to go back here and let's go check out your portraits. I will say, again, as some people are saying in chat, a lot, not some people, people are saying in chat, beautiful, beautiful images, just absolutely beautiful photos, just gorgeous work, right? But there's not a lot of information to really drive traffic here. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time reiterating the same things over and over again for each portfolio gallery. It looks like you have these set up pretty consistent, so nice job there. Glad that you have that consistency going. Go in and modify one of these galleries to show the caption, to show captions, keywords, and all of that stuff. Save that as your default and then publish it, and then go back and add in all of the information that's missing to those different galleries. Okay. Beautiful work though, just beautiful photos. All right, let's go look at one more portfolio, and then I'm interested to see if this is a this does say contract. So I'm interested, is this really a contract page, or we'll see. Let's go check out this whimsical gallery here. I'm just interested to see what this is. Yes, and as Lynn is saying, beautiful, beautiful captures of youngsters. Robert's saying excellent photos, lots of good compliments on the images, just absolutely beautiful images. Look at this. I have an 8-year-old son who would absolutely go nuts for this. He loves dinosaurs. In fact, he, in my opinion, as far as all of the people that I know, including myself, has the most expansive knowledge of dinosaurs of anybody that I know in person. It's phenomenal what he knows about dinosaurs. He would love that. Just really cool stuff. But yeah, same feedback. I love that you have this super consistent, but let's think about the titles, the captions, the keywords, and all of that stuff. Let's click on an image really quick to see where this is going. So this is loading up in dim the lights mode, probably my preferred view. Look at that, you guys, that was really cool. Probably my preferred view of portfolio galleries, just because I like the way that it lets the image own the screen. It's not really distracting. So this is definitely something that you can set up in there. So I love that. Okay. And this is really cool too, because it looks like you're doing like custom art. So like this is the second photo I've seen where this is definitely something that you could talk about more, advertise a little bit more. I didn't even see anything about this. I think these kind of photos here could definitely be in their own portfolio. Let's check out that contract page really quick. Guys, we've got about 3 minutes left on this review. So you guys in Zoom or on YouTube, first person to throw a number out in the chat. Let's go 215 to 305. That's going to determine the next site that we review. So 215 to 305. All right. So contract, this is a client agreement and retainer page. So kudos to you. This is an embedded form on a custom page. Nice job on that. If you guys didn't know you could do this, you can go to Jotform and actually create a free like contract page or something like that and embed it on a custom page. So nice job having this set up. I do think that the flow to this is a little weird. Um, I would probably consider having about and contact ahead of contract and client galleries, and then maybe take the contract and client galleries and merge them together into a drop down of clients or something like that, or info. Because you definitely want people, visitors. So when I do these reviews, I'm trying to put myself in the perspective of a potential client, of somebody who knows nothing about you, who's navigated to your site somehow, looking at your portfolio and potentially interested in hiring you. And that is the most important perspective that you can consider when you're designing your site, right? Because you already have your client's business. They don't need to learn about you. So this experience for them is secondary, right? You still need to think about the client experience, but that experience is secondary compared to the thought that you need to put into the experience for potential clients. It needs to be really focused on acquisition. And that's always the state of mind that I try to put myself into to when I'm doing these site reviews. So this is a cool custom page with the contract embedded. Nice job there. Let's check out your client galleries really quick. I've got less than a minute. Client galleries. So you're linking to client galleries, and it looks like you have two here. Not sure if this is on purpose. So what do you guys think in chat? Do you link to client galleries publicly from your website? Is that something that you want people being able to see and access? I've seen arguments for both sides, and honestly, I'm a little bit in the fence. It really depends on your business model and how you're presenting it. If you're going to have client galleries, I would definitely have client galleries be linked, and maybe have them be password protected or not show the ones that want to be private. That way you just don't have to deal with the people who try to get access to things that they shouldn't be trying to access. Let's click that about page really quick. 7 seconds left. Let's see. Great photo. You having a photo of yourself, a little bit of information about you. So nice job on the about page, having a photo of yourself. So many times I see those and there's not even images of the photographer on here. So good job on that. For me, like almost everything, when I talk about the websites on here, a lot of times I go back to the number one thing that I would consider looking at is that portfolio navigation experience for your potential visitors. Okay. All right. Let's see. The first number that I saw thrown out. Let's see. There's no timestamps over here. Let's see. Looks like it was from Doug on YouTube. He said 229. So I'm going to go grab site 229. Marine, thank you so much for submitting your site. Hopefully I gave you some good pointers. Again, as everybody was saying, you have some beautiful, beautiful work. Thank you so much for submitting your site. I really appreciate it. All right. Doug, is it Gabbard? Am I saying it right? Doug, correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Make fun of me in the chat if I'm saying it wrong. Said site number 229. So let me go grab that site really quick. All right, let's see here. And guys, if you are hanging out with us live right now and you have not submitted your site to be reviewed, after this site that I'm about to review, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to talk to Katie for a minute. And then when we come back, we're going to be reviewing one of your guys' sites who's hanging out with us live. So you haven't submitted it yet, make sure that you click that link. It should be in chat if you're on Zoom, and then in the description below the video if you're on YouTube. Go ahead and get your site submitted. All right, Doug, site 229 is bcarolina.com. So let me grab that URL. Let me just get it pasted right over here. I'm also going to drop that out to you guys in chat as well and on Zoom so you guys can check that site out. And we'll go ahead and get 15 minutes up on the clock and get this review going. All right. So this is Bella Carolina.com, as I threw the URL out there and then I'm totally messing it up. Really cool homepage, you guys. So I love that you are taking use of this kind of sidebar navigation here. So I think this is really cool. And then you have the book a session on here, and notice the book a session color customized to match. I can't tell. Is that a perfect match? You guys with better eyesight than me, tell me, is that a perfect color match? It looks pretty close. So nice job there matching that book a session with your branding of your logo. Guys, if you haven't checked out Book Me yet, you definitely need to check it out. It is a new feature. We launched it this year. It syncs to your Google Calendar. It lets clients book you, make payments. You can take retainers, and it's all synced to your Google Calendar. So booking based on your calendar availability. It's a really cool feature if you haven't checked it out yet. And we've done quite a bit of live streams on it. So if you are interested and you want to learn more, just go to our YouTube channel and do a search for Book Me. Really cool feature that we launched this year. All right, some really cool photos so far. It looks like you're definitely doing a lot of commercial food photography, some portraits, different things like that. So for the homepage, I think this is a great homepage. One of the things that I'm not seeing here is location information. So I don't have an idea of the locations that you service, but maybe we'll find that later. That is something that is important to kind of have on your homepage. Again, that's kind of for search engines and stuff like that. I love the logo design. I think that this is really cool. Let's go ahead and check these out. So when I talk about drop downs, you guys will hear me mention drop downs in navigation. This is what I'm talking about. Now, this homepage is using this sidebar layout, which I think is amazing. I love this sidebar layout when it's done right. You have to do this right to make it work right, because so many of us are used to this top bar navigation, but this looks really cool. And so this is that drop down navigation that I'm talking about, right? And it can be drop downs from over here, or if you're on a different page and you're utilizing the header menu, it can be a drop down from the header menu up here as well. But let's go ahead and check out your commercial photography. Ooh, food. I bet this is going to make me hungry. Wow. All right. Who is hungry already? Look at that, you guys. Beautiful images. Wow. Okay, I was hungry when I started this live stream, but now I'm starving. Okay, circling back, a couple of things I do want to point out here. We do see a bit of a logo change. So just going back to the homepage really quick, let's go back, check out the logo right up here. Now the color stayed the same, but the logo definitely changed on us. So check out the logo right here. And then when we move into this commercial and food, it looks like we're seeing a totally different logo. So I'm not sure if you're in the middle of rebranding and you just haven't updated the site header, or maybe the homepage is using an older logo, but I definitely think that you need to establish some branding consistency as far as that logo goes. Now, one of the things that you might be looking at is that this homepage logo is created a little bit for kind of a square orientation. So it works really good on here. If we were to take that same logo and apply it to a gallery where the header menu was showing, that logo would not fit so well up here. It would create either create one of two things. It would either be really small in that top left corner for sizing, or it would create this really kind of awkward real estate taxing sized header, right? This header would have to be really big down here to accommodate that. So what you could definitely do is use that same type, put that logo here, and just convert that logo from being a vertically orientated logo to a horizontally orientated logo by having your red text over here to the left with, what did you say, photography and design, right? Photography and design just coming out the side, or maybe grab this and have it vertically stacked next to it, just to accommodate that vertical menu. Just because it is weird, this little bit of a switch, like totally different font, all of that. Okay, Looking at this, a couple things out the gate. So first of all, again, going back to the title of the gallery, that stuff matters. So important. It matters because that is the title of the gallery. That's what you're telling search engines this is about. And a lot of times, again, we title these for our own organization. You need to go back and rethink those portfolio gallery titles. Add more information. Commercial food photography portfolio. Maybe that's where you add your location information. I have no idea where you're at, so I'm going to say that you're in Raleigh, North Carolina. Just to throw something in here, you could say Raleigh, North Carolina commercial food photography portfolio or something like that. So you're getting that information in the title. All right. And then also thinking about the gallery caption here, right? This is where you can put some more information in here. You can talk about the types of commercial services that you offer. You can put in a call to action. Interested in hiring me to shoot your latest menu updates? Click the book a session button in the bottom right corner to find a time that works for you, or click the book a session to choose the consultation option, right? Use those gallery captions for call to actions. When you have people here on your site, tell them what to do. You've got their attention with your images. Now tell them what to do, right? Tell them what they need to do. All right, let's go down. A couple of things here. There are a lot of things that we see as we hover over this image. Are these super important? Is it really important to have this sequence number up here? I've kind of talked about the dangers of sequence numbers before. Sequence numbers are not tied to this specific image. They are tied to this image's position in the gallery. So as soon as you reorganize this gallery, this image is no longer image one. Now, I don't think that that really matters for the photos that we're currently looking at, but when it comes to client proofing and things like that, it does. So you can easily go in here and turn this off. Does this information really need to be here in your portfolio? Because as you can see, as soon as we hover it over an image, we have this, and we have this. Is that really the experience that you want somebody to have the first time interacting with this? Also, we have select photos, we have buy. Is this information really important? Is somebody coming in here and buying these photos? Is this just something that's on there by accident because you have a default price list set up and you haven't really gone in and looked and maybe changed it? So something to think about there, right? Do your portfolio images need to be for sale? In this case, I think that this is probably a marketable image that you could probably sell. Somebody might use it for wall art, maybe a restaurant or something like that. I think that that's great. When it gets to like portfolio images of portrait sessions and stuff like that, that's where I kind of wonder, like, is somebody really going to come in and buy a photo of somebody else? I don't know. You guys tell me in chat. Has anybody had that experience where somebody bought a portrait photo of somebody else? I'm actually honestly curious. Has that ever happened? Okay, let's keep going. Let's go down to the bottom here. Let's just take a look. I'm looking for categories and keywords. Again, we don't have them showing here. So if you have categorized and keyworded these images in this gallery, the Google, Bing, Yahoo, all those search engines, they're not even considering that information because it has to be shown for search engines to actually see it as relevant and important information. So something to think about. Michael Joshua in Zoom said that yes, he has had people purchase portrait or portfolio images, but not too often, however. So you know what? If people are buying photos of other people and you're making some money off of it, hey, if you don't have to do anything, that's just extra money in your pocket. So that's really cool, Michael. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back up and let's go back here and let's keep navigating this site. Let's go down. Let's check out your performer headshots. So I want to take a look at these. All right. So you are keeping your gallery super consistent. That means that you've set up a default. So thumbs up on that. Nice job keeping the gallery consistent. And again, as people are saying in chat, absolutely beautiful images. As we usually see here on Site Review Tuesday. Like I don't think I've done a site review yet where I've been like, oh, I don't know if I would have that on my website or not. You guys are some amazing photographers. This website is nothing short of that. Beautiful, beautiful photos. Just lots of good images. But again, we do have a lot of elements on here. Also thinking about the title of the gallery, the caption, and all of that stuff. Let's go down as well. No categories and keywords. So let's take a look here really quick. some really cool photos of good stuff. Let's go look at let's look at your business events really quick. I just want to take a look. Everything is super consistent so far, so I'm going to say I probably will have the same feedback for most of these. Looks like this is super consistent as well. Let's go to print design really quick. I'm interested to see what's in print design. Okay. So this is nice. This is really cool, showing like some layout work and different designs and stuff that you've done, some marketing brochures and things like that. This is where that gallery caption could be super, super helpful. You could literally talk about these services and all that stuff in that gallery caption. And again, that would make this page much more searchable. So thinking about that gallery caption, utilizing it, that's going to be super, super helpful. And you do have some really cool stuff in here. Look at this. This is pretty cool. Let's take a look really quick and see. Nice. Okay. Let's keep moving on. Let's go check out your decorative art. Human form. Oh, okay. I knew I probably should have been a little careful with that one. So we're going to have to keep it YouTube friendly, you guys. Not that there's anything wrong with nude art, but we are streaming live to YouTube, and YouTube does have rules. So I'm going to have to keep it YouTube friendly, and we're going to have to go to the nature one. So let's check this out. All right. So right here, you do have a short caption up here. I would definitely talk about a little bit more in here. Mention maybe products that you offer. If you offer canvas prints, metal prints, different things like that. If you do consultations with somebody, maybe you do consultations with businesses and offices to help them redecorate their office and something like that. Maybe that's something that you talk about in this caption. And also thinking about the title up here again, just adding more information, right? More text information, beautiful images, right? Lovely, lovely photos, just absolutely gorgeous images. But we're just missing a lot of that text information. Okay, let's check out your let's do exploring urban decay, because I love urban exploration. It's my favorite type of photography to do. Let's see, let's check it out here. Really cool stuff. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I know Katie wants to get out and do some exploring now, because I know Katie likes this type of photography a lot too. Really love this one. This is a really cool image right here. Okay, let's go to your about page. So let's meet Bella. All right, so Bella, oh, nice. So she got some cool photos up here. She has several. She's kind of built this collage photo right here. And what's great about this is that you're telling us about you through images, right? You're telling us about you through photos. So already looking at this, I know that you have pets. I know that you like to get out and explore nature. I know that I think that you're involved, it looks like, in community stuff. You're married, you like the beach. I'm assuming that you're married anyway, but you like the beach. So you're telling me about you and letting me relate to you as a potential client. And this is super, super important. Super important. That's the purpose of an about page. For those of you guys who are wondering, whenever, and I know as photographers, sometimes we struggle with talking about ourselves, right? So for those of you guys who get to the about page and you're like, man, I don't know what to write, so I'm going to put, I do this type of photography, and leave it at that. This is where you tell the client about yourself. This is where you put in stuff like, I'm listening to this, put in little details about you that help your potential clients connect to you and relate to you as a person, right? You want them to first see your homepage and say, okay, I really like what I'm seeing on the homepage. Let me look at the rest of their work. They navigate to the portfolio, love the portfolio. Now let me go to the about page. And that final thing is, oh man, I really feel like I connect with this photographer. I love their work. They like a lot of the same things that I do. They sound really cool. Like, I just want to hang out with this person. Let me reach out and contact them. That is how you want that flow to happen. So putting things here that let people relate. And this is really well done without even using any words. I haven't even read the words down here, but I think that this is fantastic. We got about 50 seconds left. I do know you have some more information. So let's check out your stories really quick. So far, Bella, love what I'm seeing. Just a few things there. All right, let me, oh, here we go. Okay, so this is, looks like a blog. Your last blog post was January 22nd, 2020. If you're going to utilize the blog, let's definitely make sure that we're blogging once a month to really take full use of that blog. A couple of other things. Let's see, kind words really quick. Oh, look at this. Look at this page. Super cool custom page. Client quotes with images from the shoot and the name and all of this stuff right here. So nice job on this custom page. Way to go, Bella. Super, super impressive. Let's see. Contact. Let me stop that timer. Contact. Let's go check that out. I'm guessing that this is going to be the built-in contact page, but let me check really quick and see. It's the Zenfolio built-in contact page. Super simple. It's already set up for you. And when you fill out your information on your account, this page actually pre-populates for you, so you don't even have to go in there and set stuff up. Bella, really cool website. Love your photos. I would definitely think about utilizing the captions, keywords, that stuff, really, really important. And then thinking about the branding and that change of that logo from the homepage to the rest of the site. But thank you so much for that. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to have Katie come on here. So you guys have a few minutes. If you haven't submitted your site for a review, now is the time to get it in. I know she's thrown the link out a couple of times. So when we come back, that next site that we review is going to come from one of you guys who are hanging out with us. And I'm going to turn it over to my friend, Katie, and she's going to talk to you guys for a minute. And I'm going to grab some tea.
Robert wasn't kind enough to let us know exactly what kind of tea he's having today. He seems to be reticent to share his tea preferences these days. Anyway, welcome to Site Review Tuesday. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm Katie, your helpful moderator with Zenfolio's customer support team. I'm so glad that you all are here. We're all learning more about how to manage and optimize your Zenfolio site. So I wanted to make sure everyone knows that you should keep coming back to our broadcast, because myself and the other moderators that you'll see on Zenfolio Live on Thursdays will occasionally offer some pretty cool giveaways. So if you will continue to join us, you might get a chance to win some account credit for your site that you can use to purchase products or discount your subscription. Doug, I'm not sure how many submissions we currently have, but as Robert was saying at the beginning of the broadcast, we pick a couple of sites from our backlog, and those are the first two sites that we'll review. and then we pick a site submitted live. So I hope that you all are able to find that link that I threw out in the chat for submitting your site for our review. So make sure to leave Robert some love. Leave us a nice review. Like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And now that Robert is all set, maybe he'll let us know what type of tea he's drinking today. So I'm going to pass this over to Robert. Thank you again for joining us. Good to see you all.
Thank you so much, Katie. Katie does such a wonderful job helping me out. I hope you guys really appreciate her in chat. She does a wonderful, wonderful job. And again, I just really appreciate her. What kind of tea am I drinking? To be honest, I don't even remember what I put in my cup, but I do remember that I forgot to put honey in it because it was extremely bitter and I had to choke it down, but it kind of cleared up my throat a little bit. I think that this is... it's loose leaf tea. It's black with, I think, some ginger in it. I usually do try to get ginger tea. It's really good for your throat. But I totally forgot to put honey in it, so I had to choke that one down. What are you guys' tea recipes? I know a lot of people suggested Earl Grey. I need to get some of that. What do you guys suggest? What's your favorite teas? Let me know. All right, the site that we're going to review from you guys who are hanging out with us today looks like it's going to be dreamphotography.dfw.com. So let me get this link posted or pasted up over here. And I'm going to throw this link out in chat for you guys. I'll get it over here in Zoom. And Michael says, hemp tea, nice. I know they have, I'm pretty sure they have some CBD blends as well that I need to check out. But yeah, let me know what your guys' tea recipes are. Somebody said Kathleen's phone is doing weird things. That sucks. But I know somebody suggested Earl tea. I think somebody else said breakfast tea was really good. So I need to try those out for sure. All right, we're going to get 15 minutes up on the clock, get this review going. This is coming from one of you guys who are hanging out with us. I haven't seen the name on this yet, so I don't know whose first name it is, but from one of you guys here hanging out with us. All right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get that time started. Here we go. All right, so this is dreamphotography.dfw.com. Starting here on the homepage, a couple of things that I will kind of point out. Right here, we kind of have the logo here. And I do have to say, I do like script text, but if you are going to use script text, you definitely want to think about the size of this. Now, this logo could be small because that could be the Zenfolio resizing. So when it comes to logos, you have to think about a couple of things. Whenever you crop your logo, if you're building a custom logo, you want to make sure that you crop it in as tight as possible to the logo and then export it as a transparent PNG file. The reason that I say do that is because you can add padding to your logo in Zenfolio. So this way you can let that logo be presented really large. And then if you want to add some padding because you're getting a little claustrophobic with the edges kind of touching your logo like I do, you can go into the logo settings and actually add some vertical and horizontal padding to it. So don't try to add that into your logo as you're creating it. Crop your logo in as tight as possible, because I think that might be what's happening with this logo, is maybe it was cropped in a kind of a square design, or maybe just with the white space still in there. And that's why it's kind of has all this space here and is really small. Now let's go down here and take a look. I'm wondering if the DFW is Dallas Fort Worth. What do you guys think in chat? Let me know. Let's go down. Really cool photos though. Look at that. Beautiful photos. Beautiful photos. So it looks like this page is using a grid layout. And one of the cool things about grid layouts, if you didn't know, is you can actually set this up to be kind of like a portfolio preview. So you can link to a gallery on the grid layout, or you can actually link to a group. And the benefit to linking to a group is that if you have gone in and if you've gone in and set it up right, you could show a cover photo of each one of your portfolio galleries here on the homepage, and then somebody could actually click on that image and go into that specific gallery. Now, we did do a video, I think it's a couple of years old. I think it's called like creating a portfolio preview on your homepage or using your homepage grid or something like that. So if you're interested in that, then go check that out. It should be on our YouTube channel. It's like using your homepage grid as a portfolio preview, something like that along those lines. But let's go ahead and take a look here. It looks like you're using this blue color. You have the kind of matched up here. Nice job consistently on the branding here. Let's go down here, and we've got some information right down here. Let me hide my timer really quick. Welcome to Dream Photography, where your vision is our passion. We specialize in wedding, portrait, family photography, and events in Dallas, Texas area and surrounding cities. Please visit client galleries and portfolios to see more images. We can't wait to work with calls today to schedule your next big events. Okay, very cool. So nice job having this information on the homepage here. So really, really good stuff. We know where you're at. We know the type of photography that you do. So nice job having that all set up here. Let's go check out your portfolio. So we're going to click on portfolio here and take a look. And it looks like this portfolio is set up to be again, a group portfolio, right? Where we're clicking on basically a folder and we're looking at these folders in here. And again, I know it might seem like I hate on this type of setup. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just think that there are more efficient ways to set your portfolio up to let people navigate more efficiently to the type of photos that you want them to see and to the type of galleries that they want to see, right? Utilizing that drop-down option to where it can drop down. Now, one of the things that I am seeing here is that we are seeing your all photographs group here. So that is a big deal, because if I click on that, that means that I'm basically looking at your entire Zenfolio hard drive. And a lot of times this, if you have an older account or if you've been with us for a while, I think this setting used to be on by default. It should now be turned off, but you can actually go turn this off. You can go under your customized settings, go to site settings in the bottom left corner, and you can set it up so that the all top level all photographs group is hidden. You definitely want that because hopefully you are going to be setting up areas of your account that you don't want people to publicly access, such as client galleries and things like that. You definitely going to want to have areas separated that are for the public versus for clients versus personal. So you probably don't want this showing. Let's go in here and let's take a look. Let's start with your bridal portraits. You're also using this square grid. And if you'll notice, okay, as we're hovering over this, we're seeing the file name. Now, when it comes to actual client galleries, I think that there's a huge benefit to showing the file name on client galleries, because if you're on the phone with a client and you're talking about their photos and they have that gallery pulled up, they can now look at an image and give you the file name, which as photographers, that is super useful for them. Instead of having to say, oh, it's the, the third image down, or the one where she's holding the dress out like a bird, they could say something like, it's the image 0046. Right now, you do want to think about your naming conventions. Make sure that you have a good naming convention in practice. For those of you guys who might just be getting started out in photography, please think about your naming conventions. Okay, think about changing them from whatever your camera's default is. You can actually go in there and customize that. And in fact, if you haven't done this yet, I challenge you guys to do this. Go into your camera, make sure that you check the copyright, make sure that you have your custom copyright set up to put your copyright in your images from within your camera. And then check your naming convention and see if you have your naming convention customized to suit whatever your workflow is. Specifically, back to the copyright really quick, if you buy used gear at all, I've seen this happen. If you buy used gear, if you buy used bodies, the person who had that body before you might have put in a custom copyright, and you're now capturing images that's putting their custom copyright into your images. And then you might upload those to Zenfolio, and if you have the copyright set to show, which is going to show by default on a lot of pages, you will all of a sudden see a gallery with photos that you took, but you'll see somebody else's copyright in there because it's coming from your images because maybe you bought a used body. So something to think about. I've seen it happen a couple of times. Okay, back to this though. This gallery is using this kind of square view. It is very Instagram-y. What do you guys think in chat about this? One of the things when it comes to the grid view is that, yes, the square view, it's very Instagram-y, but if you do not think about your images and if you're not shooting with that square crop in mind, this square grid crops your photos as you see, and it might not crop them the way you wanted to. For example, this photo right here. Right. And so I'm not a huge fan of the square grid because of that specific purpose. Now, obviously, when we click on the photo, we're going to see the photo in its actual orientation. Right. So we're seeing the photo in its actual orientation on this. So it's not actually damaging your images or cropping them permanently, but it is on this preview. Right. And so that's something to seriously think about. Usually I prefer grid B. What grid B will do is it will make your landscape orientated images the same height as your portrait orientated images. And if you're photographing subject matter that have people in it, that is usually the preference. I know you guys are like, whoa, wait a second, that's a little backwards. We want the images, the portrait orientated images to be larger if we would photograph images with people in it. But you have to think about if you're shooting a horizontal image of people, chances are you're shooting a group shot. There's going to be multiple people in that, and you need that horizontal image to be larger so that it's easier for people to recognize the faces in that photo. So that's why I like grid B, because grid B makes the portrait orientated images and the horizontal images the same height, and then just lets the horizontal images present in their actual aspect ratio. So something to think about. Let's go down. Again, this is your portfolio, right? So you definitely want to have these presented in the best view possible, and specifically right here on this grid view. You might have people that come in here and actually click on these images and browse through them one at a time, but a lot of people are going to just browse them in the grid. And so you definitely don't want this to be your first impression of your bridal photos, one where the back is halfway cropped off. Also, too, if you notice when I'm hovering over this, the preview images are really small. So that little thing that pops up from the bottom is really coming in and taking a lot of space up from this already small image. So something to think about here, you can go in and make these thumbnail images larger by increasing the minimum row height. If you go to our YouTube channel, do a quick search for customizing your portfolio galleries. In fact, I think I did a whole live stream on setting up your portfolios. I might have even done a series where I talk about the SEO and the gallery thumbnails, the size, and all of that stuff. So all of that information is going to be on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you go check that out. But you definitely want to think about this, right? This is your first impression. And look at the small size of the images, look at all the information that's kind of getting over the way, in the way. And then we have select photos by and all of this stuff as well. So stuff to think about. Now, I've already talked about gallery captions, gallery titles, all of that stuff. One of the things that I do want to mention here is that when we're looking at this, we have now lost navigation. Okay. For some reason, it looks like the header has been hidden. So if I just pull this down, right, there's nowhere for me to navigate to. So it looks like on this particular gallery, the header has actually been hidden. So now I have to use that back button. Same thing here as well. I didn't catch it before, but same thing here as well. That header is missing. So we're losing that navigation. So you want to make sure, especially when your portfolio is set up like this. So you kind of have a perfect storm going on here, because let me show you what happens. When I click portfolio, I lose this navigation, okay? And then when I click into a specific portfolio, I'm now in a portfolio where I have no breadcrumbs and I have no navigation. So I have to use that back button to go back to here, or the back button to go back to the rest of your links. So you definitely want to get in there, get that site header showing on those other pages as well. Don't just leave it on the home page and turn it off from the other sites. It is really important that you have it showing on those other pages as well. Okay, let's go back to portfolio. Let's take a look at, let's go to, I don't know, what do you guys think? Let's go to maternity here. Let's take a look at this. All right, let's see here. Beautiful photos. As everybody's saying in chat, absolutely beautiful photos, but look at how small the images are on the screen. So definitely something to think about again. In here as well, some beautiful photos. Now, as your portfolio grows, you're definitely going to want to start thinking about cutting out the repeating images in here, right? This whole first section here is taken up with images from the first shoot. And we definitely want to think about cherry picking our images, making sure that we're only showing the best of the best of the best of our images in here. And then a couple of things to help you kind of pick images out is when you're thinking about your portfolio images, what are the shots that people are asking for, right? When you're looking through Pinterest and you're looking at people on Facebook who are having maternity photos taken, what photos are they sharing? Look at those poses, look at the backdrop. Not that I'm telling you to be trendy, but there's a reason why people are sharing those shots, because those are the shots that they want and that they're looking for. And as a maternity photographer or as a portrait photographer, you want to present two things. You want to present yourself and your style, but you also want to show the types of shots that people are asking for as well. So definitely think about that as well. Beautiful photos in here, just absolutely gorgeous photos. Let's go back and let's navigate to the rest of your site really quick. We've only got a little bit of time left. So let me get back here. Let's go to your pricing and let's look at package pricing. And again, we are losing that navigation. So I'm going to have to use the back key. Now this looks like a custom page. Nice job setting this custom page up. One of the things I always recommend is in here where you're talking about these sessions, put a call to action. You also had the book a session button on the homepage. You can show that book a session button here on this custom page as well. So when you're setting up these custom pages, if they're about packages, you can start putting in some verbiage in there and some words to say, hey, if you're interested in this package, click on the book a session below to book your session with me or something like that. Okay, let's use the back button. Let's go to your about page and let's take a look. So Noel, photographer over 17 years, capturing special moments, working with families, every type of lifestyle and events. I went to school at Richmond College. So one of the things that I am not seeing here, well, you did mention Dallas Fort Worth at the beginning. It's the DFW, so I think that that's pretty well and understood. Hey, Forte, jumping on YouTube. I miss you too, hanging out with us on Thursdays. You definitely need to come back and join us, Forte, on Thursdays. All right, let's see. Great about page. You got a great about photo. In here, you're talking about the type of work that you do. College to be and fell in love with photography and shooting my own family. I wanted to be a better photographer. So definitely think about what type of information can you share on that about page that lets your visitors connect with you, right? What is something that you can share specifically, maybe in Texas? Like, I know I'm from Oklahoma originally. I know a lot of people from Texas. I know Texas, there's a lot of things that are really unique to Texas and the culture and the mindset. And so that is something that you could very well write into that about page, show some images to instantly let people connect with you and think, oh, she's a Texas girl. Okay, yes, this is, I want to work with her. We get along and we would connect. That's the purpose of that about page, as I keep saying. So thank you so much, Noel, for sending your site in for a review. Hope that was helpful. And thank you guys. Unfortunately, we are just about out of time. So I do want to say thank you guys again so much for hanging out with us today on a Site Review Tuesday. Hopefully I gave you guys some good information. You guys got some good reviews. Don't forget, we do this every single week. So if your site didn't get reviewed, make sure that you come back next Tuesday and hang out with us. We pull random sites from the backlog every day, or not every day, every Tuesday from the numbers you guys throw out in chat. And then we do that live audience site review as well. So that last site was from somebody hanging out with us live. So thank you guys again so much. Don't forget, coming up on Thursday, we're going to be talking about the Zenfolio green screen feature, now mobile friendly for your clients. So if you do any kind of green screen photography and you've been using the green screen feature, or if you're like, I didn't even know that Zenfolio had a green screen feature, make sure that you join us on Thursday. And again, if you want to register to receive emails, you can do that. The link is in the description below the video on YouTube. You can register for Site Review Tuesday and Zenfolio Live. So make sure that you do that if you haven't done it yet. All of you guys who hung out with us on Zoom, Bella, Connie, Eduardo, Kathleen, Laura, Michael, Noel, Patricia, Terry. If I missed your name, I am sorry. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on Zoom. YouTube, let's see, Forte, Home Phone, Bella, Jennifer, Lynn, Roxanne, hey Roxanne, Kathleen, Doug, and anybody else that I missed. Thank you guys, Robert, for hanging out with us. All of you guys, Kathy, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure that you catch us this Thursday for Zenfolio Live. And don't forget, you guys, to share your images, use that hashtag Zenfolio Photographers. And until Thursday, make sure that you're doing nice things for people. Okay? Do something nice for somebody, lift somebody up, encourage somebody. Let's work together to make the world a better place. I'll see you guys again on Thursday. Until then, have a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.